it. I'm going to draw a goat. Let's draw it. Let's go. That looks like a penis. And then I think... Today's video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. More on them in just a bit. Hello everybody, welcome back to another brand new episode of Brain Blaze. As always, hello there. I am your host, Simon Wyman's here, one of my authors. Now, I always say Danny, but I see over there out of the corner of my eye that this one is written by Kevin, and it's the most expensive pieces of cardboard ever. The world's most expensive pieces of cardboard. I can't even read the title correctly. This is really compelling stuff, isn't it? Nah, this is going to be about Pokemon cards or something, isn't it? Because that shit is absolutely wild. I mean, I don't get it. I've never been a collecting person. I had Pokemon cards when I was a kid, mostly because I would buy them. I would pick out all of the good ones and I would sell them to people for more money than they were really worth, because I love money and I don't love cards.
Looks like you're up to no good again.
Let's just get into it, shall we? It's Brain Blaze, you know how it works. Let's go. What if you could take all the fun of gambling, combine it with an unregulated stock market, and then target it to children? This kind of sounds like the crypto, NFTs, all of this stuff that's recently become popular for... I mean, it's just a way, isn't it just a way for people with influence to scam their fans? And speaking of that, have you checked out the Whistler token? Not really. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Either you'll be the world's biggest arsehole, or you'll just be one of the several major corporations that produce trading cards. Whether it's a collectible card game or a sports card. Whether it's a collectible card game or sports cards, the premise is the same. You buy a pack of random cards that are mostly worthless in the hopes of opening one of the chase cards from the set, something that you can either hold onto or flip for a profit. Yes, love that profit. Just like with stocks, prices can rise and fall seemingly arbitrarily, so unless you're holding onto something for a long-term investment, it's important to sell at the right time. Honestly, even if you're holding onto it for a long-term investment. I mean, I get like some things are good long-term investments. Property, gold, I guess the stock market. But you need to know when to sell at the right time if you're doing like playing cards and stuff. Because, I mean, I guess Pokemon cards came back around and became super expensive. But are they going to be super expensive in a few years? I feel like the answer is no. But also I have no idea, which is why I'm not super rich from Pokemon cards.
He called Diglett.
That's floor shit right there.
And Doug Trio.
That's 3 floor shit.
I've made it no secret that I'm a giant nerd who plays Magic. He's referring to Magic the Gathering as Kevin, and I know nothing about this game other than what I've learned via Kevin. There are tournaments and stuff. It's elaborate. And I've spent far more money than I'd like to admit on the game. The most money I've ever spent on a single card was $3,400. Holy shit! What the fuck? That's a lot. I sold other cards I had for the explicit purpose of making the purchase, but I still felt like an arsehole buying it rather than just transferring that money to my bank account. It's been exactly 10 years since then, and the card has increased in value to about $40,000, so who's the arsehole now? Good lord, okay, I take back what I said, Kevin. You spent $3,200 and it's now worth 40? Shit. Should buy like a Bitcoin or something.
What's up,
Still me, especially because the alleged value of a collectible is meaningless unless you're actually trying to sell it, whereas most collectors seem to be of the mindset that they're just going to be buried, surrounded by all of their cool stuff. Yeah, you really can't take it with you. Does this card have some sort of magical purpose, Kevin, or is it just like... Does this mean, like, if you go to, like, a Magic the Gathering tournament, it's, like, more powerful or something like that? Or is it just, like, rare and collectible? Because, I mean, either way, it's interesting. But that's a hell of a return on investment. But as expensive as that one card may be, it pales in comparison to the most expensive pieces of collectible cardboard ever printed. 40 grand, Kevin. I'm still so impressed by that. It's so much money. Alpha Black Lotus. If you mention Magic the Gathering to someone who is unfamiliar with the game, there are basically 2 responses you'll get. It's either, is that like Dungeons and Dragons, or some sort of question involving the Black Lotus. Mine would be, I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons either, so I'll be like, is it a card game? Is it like Bridge? My grandma plays Bridge. Black Lotus is the most iconic card in the game, and its sales frequently generate media buzz. I guess either I don't follow the media or I don't follow this part of the media because I've never heard of the Black Lotus. To me, it sounds like some sort of Chinese tea.
Tea?
Yes.
Released in 1993, there were 3 different printings of Magic's earlier cards, Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited, and all of them are visually distinct. Alpha was the first printing, and the cards were a different shape than all future Magic cards, with the corners being much more round. Should we take a guess at how much this card is worth? If Kevin's random card is worth 40 grand, and I mean, Kevin's a big Magic player, I guess, so I'm going to say it's at least 10 times that. I'm going to say it's like $500,000. What do you guys think? It's going to be like... But then you get like things like Superman #1 and it sells for like millions and millions of dollars. You know, the comic book. I think the thing is, like with Pokemon, all of the people who got into this as a kid are now adults and they have money and they're still into it. And it's like now they're like, I always wanted that like pimp-ass Charizard when I was a kid. And now I've got money and I can buy it. I'm not sure how much a Charizard. That's a really expensive... I know nothing about this. That's a really expensive one, right? So, I mean, it's not everybody. But there are plenty of people who were teenagers 10 years ago who are now rich. And it's... Or 15 years ago. And they're willing to spend money on that. It's kind of one of the reasons I want a DeLorean. Like, I loved Back to the Future. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I think I'd buy a DeLorean. And I reckon those are going to be pretty expensive because there's probably a lot of people... Oh, no, Back to the Future's a bit older. And I guess I got into it late. But I know they're cars, but I kind of want one, and I kind of feel like they're going to be iconic for a long time because of those iconic movies. So I kind of feel like that's something you could buy, and it's also old, so it's not really going to go down in value very much. And then you get to have a DeLorean, which is pretty sick, and they're not even that pricey. I mean, they're expensive, but they're not like wild, or at least they weren't a couple of years ago. Do you look like a knob if you drive a DeLorean? I think you'd look like a bit of a nerd, but it's also pretty cool. I saw one driving around the other day, and I stopped to take a photo of it. It's pretty cool. Beta adopted what would become the standard card shape, and the outer border on the Unlimited cards was white rather than black, a standard they adopted for all reprints of cards to make them less desirable as the white borders were uglier and got dirtier easier. The exact numbers aren't known, but it's estimated there were 1,100 of each rare card from Alpha, 3,300 from Beta, and 18,000 from Unlimited. For a game with millions of players, those numbers are really small, especially for anyone that wants the much more appealing and much rarer black bordered variants. Those numbers are also the original print runs, and there's no chance that all of those cards survived. Cards would be damaged from overuse, left in pockets, and run through the washing machine, or burned by the Catholic Church for being satanic. Get the feeling that's not even a joke, because the Catholic Church got on all that shit. They were like, there was all sorts of stuff. There was the Satanic Panic, or all sorts of stuff that people thought was like devil worship and shit got like burnt. Is that what you're up to? That's crazy.
The devil? Everything is the devil to you, mama!
We don't know how many of these cards were destroyed, and I'd prefer not to think about it. What separated the Black Lotus apart from the other 115 rare cards from Alpha was that it was so damn good. It's one of the most powerful cards ever printed, but more importantly, every single deck could use it. I have no idea what this means. It just seems very powerful. It's like every single deck could use it. Okay, what is a deck other than a deck of cards in like Bridge or something? Because of the way the game is structured, not all cards will work well together, even when looking at the most powerful cards. Black Lotus circumvented that by being worth playing in every deck, which meant every player wanted it, leading to it becoming the most sought-after card in the game. When it comes to high-end collectibles, condition is everything. If you want to get an Unlimited Black Lotus that looks like it was frequently played on a dirty picnic table and has a nice big crease through it, you can pick it up for a paltry $10,000 for one that's in shit condition. Oh my god. For a high-grade Alpha Black Lotus, you're looking at a much, much higher price tag. It's important to note that because Magic was the first trading card game ever, the printing process wasn't very refined yet. As a result, most early cards were at least a little off-center, meaning that straight out of the pack would not qualify as a perfect 10 from a grading service. This makes the Professional Sports Authenticator PSA 10 Alpha Black Lotus extremely rare, with only 6 in existence. I still think I'm going to say $500,000. I think it's $500,000. Let's see. Most recently, in 2021, one of these cards that was also signed by the card's artist, Christopher Rush, sold at auction for $511,000. Maybe I should work in this industry. Maybe I should just randomly start grading things, giving value to things. that I have no idea what I'm talking about. God damn, that is bang on. I mean, it's not bang on. It's $11,100 off, but I mean, come on. Credit where it's due. It may not compare to some of the other prices on this list, but this... It may not compare to some of the other prices on this... It may not compare to some of the other prices in this video, but the market has only recently started to take off. Prices on these cards have been increasing rapidly, and it's coming from genuine demand rather than the bullshit shenanigans you often see in these unregulated commodity markets. Yes. Have you guys seen those, like, they're called, like, Bored Apes, and it's some art, and there's, like, I don't know, 500 of them or whatever, and people really want them, and so they sell for, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's just a one-off version of some art. And it's like, what is going on? This is like one of those things where it's like, everyone's got too much money. I don't know. Like, I'll say it now in this video. Everyone has too much money. Even now, it's like post-COVID. People are traveling again. There's war. I'm like, people have way too much money. The investing is going way too well. People are buying all sorts of random shit. I don't feel like I have my finger particularly on the pulse, but everyone's about to get f***ed, right? Like, it's coming. It's coming. I don't know. I invest in the stock market, and I feel like I'm about to lose a lot of money. But I'm also okay with that because I'm not going to sell it when it's down. I'm just going to wait. But I'm saying right now, it's I don't know why I'm looking at my watch. It doesn't tell me the month. It's August. It's coming. Don't listen to me. This is not financial advice. I know not what I'm talking about. I'm just an internet fact boy. This is just my feeling. When you see people buying apes, which are stupid, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's just a sign that we're all about to get f***ed. In my opinion. Of course, this also isn't the most expensive Black Lotus. In addition to PSA, there's also Beckett Grading Services BGS, who are much stricter when it comes to handing out 10s. There is only one BGS 10 out for Black Lotus, and the owner was interested in selling it, and the price would almost certainly exceed $1 million. Now, just before we continue with today's video, let me tell you about the fantastic sponsor for today's video, which is Surfshark VPN. Have you ever been in one of those places, you're like in some coffee shop? I don't know, whether it be Starbucks or whether it's somewhere be dodgy. I don't know, you're in some far-flung country and you're sitting in the airport and it's like, yo, guess what? Free airport Wi-Fi, and it's got 5 bars, or how many bars does like the Wi-Fi thing have? It has 4 bars! And you're like, strong, I'll take it. And you're like, wait a second, should I take it? Because I needed to do some online banking, and that just seems like I'm gonna, be invaded. My privacy, my banking, my money. No, what you need to do, make sure you got Surfshark VPN. You fire up Surfshark VPN, then connect on over to that Wi-Fi, and it'll be like, yo, you're all good. You're nice and safe. What I do, even when I'm abroad, I end up using like a VPN that takes me home because then I feel comforted. And it's not asking me like, hey, did you just sign in from random country where you are? You need to do like 2-factor authentication and do all of this stuff that you don't want to do and take so much time. So I'm always just like, I'm just using VPN just to make my life easier. Also, streaming options are increased, which is another fantastic thing. What you do, say you're on an iPad or whatever, you close down Netflix, you fire up Surfshark, you log on to another country, you open up Netflix again, and boom, whole new library, and you love it. Also, I don't know, maybe you want to buy something online, something digital, and it's like it's not available in your country, but fire up Surfshark VPN. Oh, look, it is available for me. I often find like YouTube is not like YouTube you guys see in America or the UK. Like, we don't get, I live in Czech Republic, you don't get the merch shelf, you don't get some of these extra features, and then whenever I'm on Surfshark, I'm like, I've rarely done this on purpose, but then I open YouTube and I'm like, whoa, YouTube's different and fancy. So, look, Surfshark has lots of uses, and you can get a very, very special deal on it. All you need to do is go to surfshark.deals/Blaze, enter the promo code Blaze, and you'll get 83% off and 3 extra months for free. Again, that's surfshark.deals/Blaze. Enter the promo code Blaze to get 83% off and 3 months extra for free. Brilliant. And now back to today's video. LeBron James, previously On this channel, we talked about the comic book speculation bubble of the 1980s and 1990s, and the sports card world was going through the exact same thing at that point. Pretty much all collectibles from that time period are absolutely worthless, with a few exceptions like Generation 1 Transformers toys. As far as sports cards are concerned, the explosion of the internet didn't really help things either. Unlike with games, where the cards are both collectible and they are the game pieces required to play, sports cards serve little purpose. The only real point of them, other than for people to collect cards featuring their favorite player or team, was that they featured the player's statistics from previous seasons. I'm just remembering I didn't play sports ones, but we had a game that was popular when I was a kid, other than Pokemon, which I don't know how to play, was Top Trumps. And I'm sure it's like the small brain version of every card game ever. But I used to enjoy the shit out of playing Top Trumps. And it would have all these things from like your favorite TV shows or whatever, and it would rank them with different powers, and you got to choose which one you play against other people. And it was fun. I like that. I got a small brain. Okay, that's a lie, and the only real point of them was to make companies like Topps and Upper Deck billions of dollars. It's a very good reason to make something, isn't it, though? But the stats printed on the back of the cards were the alleged purpose of them, with the internet making all sports statistics readily accessible in seconds. And aren't they going to get out of date super quickly? It's like, yeah, we printed up this thing with his statistics. It's like, well, as soon as he plays another game, his statistics are going to change, aren't they? No? Sports cards had no purpose other than being collectibles, and in the 80s and 90s, they were worthless, overprinted collectibles. I guess the good thing about the Bored Ape things is they do have a lot of utility. They're very useful. There's lots of functions of those.
The card had a moon on. I want to put it in your ass.
Oh, wait, no, that's not right. That was sarcasm. The market was crashing, and with their extinction imminent, trading card companies were going to have to resort to cheap gimmicks to keep the industry afloat. To be fair, their solution was actually pretty cool. Sports companies began including extremely rare chase cards, featuring things like pieces of clothing worn during a game and cards hand-signed by the players. I have to say that is very, very cool. Like, yeah, if you've got a jersey, you've got some guy like, I don't know, the only famous baseball player I could name is Babe Ruth. If you had a card that was Babe Ruth and they printed 500 of them and they put like a tiny little piece of his jersey in there and sold it for like $1,000 or whatever, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's like a true collectible with some, intrinsic limited value, rather than a JPEG or something that's just printed in a factory in China and can be printed again. There's only a certain amount of Babe Ruth clothes, I assume. Obviously, you can't stuff an entire jersey inside a pack of cards, so the articles of clothing were cut up into pieces with a small piece placed inside the card. The cards were then given collector numbers, so if a jersey was cut into 99 pieces, your card might be labeled 58 out of 99. Lower numbers, particularly number 1, fetch much higher prices than the more middling digits, and obviously anything that was labeled 1 out of 1 would be extremely sought after. Yeah, that's another clever way. If you were like, yeah, it's 1 out of 1, and it is that jersey, we just take a little sample of it and then we dispose of the rest. We burn it so it doesn't exist, and that increases or decreases the supply, therefore increasing the price. Brilliant. Supply and demand. This is a great solution. This is quite some big business, big brain going on right here. The gimmick worked, and in a big way. The sports card market is bigger than ever, and brand new releases can fetch insane prices. When I was a kid, a pack of baseball cards was about $1, maybe $2, and you got a stick of gum in it. Now, thanks to these unique cards, if a manufacturer guarantees every box of cards will have at least one such card in it, packs can easily sell for $20 or more. On rare occasions, there have been individual packs of cards with a $1,000 MSRP. These have already increased in value to $5,000 by the time they were shipped to stores. That's incredible. This was such a big brain idea. I'm so impressed by this. That brings us to LeBron James, arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. I've heard of LeBron James, but I've also heard of Michael Jordan. Is he no longer the greatest of all time? I thought he was the GOAT.
It became personal with me.
Heavy emphasis on arguably here, as the discourse between supporters of LeBron and Michael Jordan can get more than a little heated. There we go. I guess that is discussed.
But me being compared to him, I took offense to that.
In LeBron's rookie year, Upper Deck produced the exquisite collection Rookie Patch Autographs card, featuring a patch of game-worn clothing from LeBron with the cards all signed by him in blue market. These are going to be super expensive. There were 2 sets of cards. One was numbered out of 99 and the other out of 23, though honestly I can't figure out what the difference between them is. People are mad into sports. People are mad into sports more than they're mad into Magic the Gathering. These are millions. I get the feeling like the number one I'm just going to say 3 mil. Just going to say 3 mil on the number 1 version. In 2021, the card numbered 7 out of 23, sold for a staggering $5.2 million. Okay, never mind. Number 1 is a lot more than 3 mil. Holy shit. Making it the most expensive basketball card ever sold. Okay, so we don't even know. No one has sold the other ones. They're just theoretical prices. Holy shit.
It became personal with me.
Pikachu illustrator. As a child, did you ever dream of being able to sell one of your shit drawings for millions of dollars? For 39 children in Japan, that dream became a reality. I can't actually say for sure if they were all children or not, but based on the quality of the drawings, a lot of them definitely were. Yeah, if someone asked me to draw something, they were like, I don't know, draw a goat. I will draw a goat, and people will be like, I can't tell if that's drawn by a child or Simon. Because I've not worked on improving my drawing skills since I was a child. The last time I really learned how to draw, I was like 10. So my level of drawing skill hasn't changed, so it will look like it's drawn by a child because, I'm going to draw a goat. Let's draw it. Let's go.
A few moments later.
It's a bit of live entertainment for you. Okay, so a goat has 4. And this is honestly the best that I can do. I am not trying to make it shitty on purpose. This is going to... They have big bellies. Goats have big bellies, right? That's going to be a belly like that. Then you've got to throw some back legs on there. I'm trying to get the perspective right, but uh-oh. Do they have different back legs and front legs? Like dinosaurs? I don't know. Do they have they got a little tail, right? A little sticky outy tail. That looks like a penis. And then I think... I was like, they've got quite straight backs. And then I draw the back, like... I don't want to show you until I'm done. Oh my god, this is so bad. What does a goat's head look like? Where does the neck go? Okay, I think like that. And then let's just draw...
1 hour later.
Oh, they have those weird slitty... Oh god, no, it looks like a dragon. Oh, f*** me. The tail's in the wrong place. Ah, what the f*** is this? That... So yeah.
It's beautiful. I've looked at this for 5 hours now.
But look, you want to add some value to this? Yeah, now people would actually buy it. 1 out of 1. Signed. Anyone want to buy that? We can give the money to charity. So bad.
I'd buy that for $1.
In 1997 and 1998, Japanese magazine Korokoro Comic held a series of 3 Pokemon drawing competitions. There were varying levels of winners, but between the 3 contests, there were 39 lucky people who were selected to win the Pikachu illustrator card for the Pokemon card game. Sort of. The card looks like a regular Pokemon trading card, but it isn't actually playable in the game. The card is named Pokemon Illustrator, though it's generally referred to as Pikachu Illustrator because the artwork features everyone's favorite electric mouse. I don't get the joke. Is Pikachu Oh, he does have that like weird buzzing thing coming out of his tail, doesn't he? Doesn't he? Why is he a mouse, though? Does he look like a mouse?
Pikachu, the mouse Pokemon. It can generate electric attacks from the electric pouches located in both of its cheeks.
Don't even think about asking me to draw the Pikachu. I can't draw a Pikachu. I don't even know what a Pikachu looks like. I know it's yellow. That's about it.
He knew Pikachu, but everybody knows Pikachu.
Oh yeah, that's Pikachu right there.
God, that goat looks so bad. That is really bad. It does look like some sort of animal, though. God, I'm so ashamed of myself. Like, no one could identify what this animal is other than by the rectangle eyes. Wow. The text of the card doesn't do anything in the game. It just says that the winner is an excellent artist and an officially authorized Pokemon card illustrator. Can't emphasize enough of what a lie that is, and I really hope the winners were selected at random because goddamn, seriously, look at the Snorlax that wasn't even a runner-up. This was one of the legit grand prize winners. Of course, when they were running this competition, they almost certainly had no idea what the ramifications were going to be. Pikachu Illustrator is by far the rarest card in the game, and it even features artwork from the original designer of Pikachu. This makes it extremely sought after as a collectible, and the holy grail of Pokemon is the singular PSA 10 graded copy of the card. Look, I know know Pokemon's mad expensive. I know those Charizard don't they go for like $250,000 or something like that? I'm going to say it's higher than 5 mil because I feel like the last one was 5 mil and it would be disappointing if it was less expensive. So that already feels, if I didn't have that frame of reference, I wouldn't say it was that much. But I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to say this is worth $10 million, which feels insane. And I kind of feel that I'm only saying that because I feel like Kevin would do this entry as bigger than the last entry. But other than that, I'd say it was 750,000, which feels way more sensible, or maybe a milli. But 10 feels absurd, but that's what I'm going with. Realistically, 750 to $1 million, though, is what? I don't know. Okay, here we go. It was sold privately in 2021, and the details of the sale were not made public until WrestleMania 2022. YouTuber Logan Paul would likely be best known for his burgeoning wrestling career, but he is actually best known for that time he went to the Japanese suicide forest to put a dead body hanging down from a tree in a thumbnail for a video. Whoops. He is also the owner of the PSA 10 Illustrator card, which he wore around his neck for his walk into the ring at WrestleMania. I mentioned earlier that the condition is important, and this is the perfect example of just how much condition matters on a high-end collectible. The seller was asking for $6 million in cash for the card, or he would take $4 million and one of the 8 PSA 9 copies of the card. Logan was able to purchase a PSA 9 for $1.3 million, then added the extra $4 million to upgrade the 9 to a 10. I know I said it was going to be $10 million, but it's still extraordinary he's paying $5.3 million for that. All in. He put out a YouTube video describing it as the most expensive private collectible sale ever, at least that anyone knows about, which was absolutely true at the time he said it. Private collectible sale? Aren't we going to include art in there? Art is collectible. And I'm pretty sure there are some Picassos that are priced just a smidge higher than that. But things changed, and less than a month later, his record was beaten. Oh no, Logan! Ah, no!
Yes, very sad. Anyway, it got me thinking.
T206 Honus Wagner. Oh, God. Whatever, I don't know. Depends on the context, I guess. Wagner. Does it? Or is it just Wagner? I think it's just Wagner. But what's a Honus? And what's a T206? I don't know. I was a pretty good first baseman in my day. Don't know what that is. Oh, is that the guy who stands on first base? That would make sense, thinking about it. But I know nothing about baseball, and I prefer it that way. And as such, I feel qualified to say that baseball is the least athletic of all the major sports. Depends if you classify chess as a major sport, doesn't it? Even worse was old-timey baseball, when dugouts were a perpetual cloud of cigar smoke and everyone was probably drunk. It makes sense then that old-timey baseball cards didn't come in packs of baseball cards sold to children. They came in packs of cigarettes, which were also probably sold to children. Yeah, were they called cigarette cards back in the day? Like my nan, I don't think she ever smoked, but for some reason she had a lot of... Oh, my grandpa smoked. My granddad, who I never met, he died before I was born, probably because he smoked. No, he had some like heart thing. But he smoked a pipe, which was probably not great because he had that heart thing. And there were pipes. My nan had like a big collection of his pipes. Bet he was a legend. The T206 series of baseball cards appeared in packages of cigarettes and loose tobacco from 1909 to 1911, produced by what would later become Topps. These cards were much smaller than traditional sports cards now, and they are incredibly collectible because of their size, age, rarity, and because of the quality of the color lithographs used for the images. If you're not familiar with Honus Wagner outside of maybe having heard how expensive his card is, it's not a huge surprise. Not a lot of people are intimately familiar with 19th century professional athletes. So is it Wagner? It's got to be Wagner because he's American, right? Rather than being German. Let's just switch to Wagner. I'm not going to go back and read it again because I don't want to. Wagner began his Major League Baseball career in 1987 and played through 1917. Despite his career having ended over a century ago, he's still regarded as the greatest shortstop of all time. Now, shortstop, I have no idea what that is and can't even guess. Maybe someone who stops things short? Who knows? And quite possibly the greatest baseball player of all time. Isn't that Babe Ruth is fair? He's the only baseball player I could name. Who's that guy who's married to that supermodel? No, he's not baseball. What's his name? Wait, am I thinking of the guy from Maroon 5? No, he's just also married to a supermodel. He's football. I'm pretty sure he's football. Everyone's screaming in the comments, but I don't care. By the time the T206 series were released, Wagner was an 8-time National League batting champion and a World Series champion. He also had a lot of other impressive stats, but this is baseball, so listing his accomplishments will put Simon to sleep. Kevin, I'm already asleep. Needless to say, he was kind of a big deal despite this in the 3-year print run of the card series. It's estimated that only 50 to 200 Honus... Oh, his name is Honus. Honus, why are you called Honus? What sort of... Bloody hell. Honus Wagner cards. Only 50 to 200 Honus Wagner cards were ever produced. Maybe tobacco companies felt that having chase cards would help increase the sale of cigarettes because we all know how unstable the demand for highly addictive chemical substances is. Yeah. Cigarettes. We found out they can literally kill you and everyone just keeps on smoking. The T206 Honus Wagner card is consistently sets the record for the highest price for a trading card ever. Gonna say 7 million. In 2021, a copy sold at auction for 6.6. I only said 7 because it was 5, then 6, then 7. So that's where I got that number from, not from any inherent knowledge. The first one, though, that $500,000, boom, big brain. However, in the time between me first pitching this idea and getting the script completed, another Honus Wagner card sold for $7.25 million. God damn. This was also a private sale, so apologies to Logan Paul for no longer being part of the largest private collectible sale in history. But to make life more difficult, as of the day I'm writing this, Honus Wagner is only technically the most expensive baseball card ever sold. There's currently a 9.5 grade Mickey Mantle. Oh, I've heard of Mickey Mantle. I know that name. I wouldn't know he played baseball, but I know the name. 1952 Topps rookie card that has just reached a bid of $7.4 million. There's 2 weeks left in the auction at the time of writing, and it's expected to break the $10 million mark. It's crazy to think that tiny cardboard rectangles could routinely sell for 7 or now 8 figures, but I guess that's just the world we live in. It's a shame Pogs were cardboard circles instead of rectangles, or I could be sitting on a fortune. Kevin, you've got something worth 40 grand, mate. I'm not sure you should be announcing that publicly. Like, just keep that quiet, tuck it under your mattress and, just be like, shh, for a rainy day. Otherwise, someone's gonna, mug you. Like, Brett, well, I guess you don't carry it on you, but I don't know. I wouldn't be like, no, I got, that Topps thing. I bought that. I would just keep silent about it and not tell anyone because I don't want to be robbed. This has been an episode of Brain Blaze. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Yeah, now people would actually buy it. 1 out of 1. Signed. Anyone want to buy that? We can give the money to charity. So bad.